Good morning. This is Timothy Zellmer from Hotel Central Boquete and Live Free University again with Helena. And the question we're going to answer today is, move here without Spanish? Move here without Spanish? Now, I spoke pretty decent Spanish when I moved here, but Helena did not. So we want to learn how it's gone for her and what she's doing about that.
Okay, so one of the criteria about deciding to move to Panama was the fact that I don't have any Spanish at all. None, okay?
Not even high school?
Not even high school.
Okay.
British people, we tend not to learn Spanish, and there it is. Right,
Okay.
so the question was, Spanish is the native language. This is the official language here in Panama, and so I very quickly needed to learn how I would go about learning Spanish. Fortunately, here in Boquete, there are several different places where you can actually learn Spanish, and I had absolutely none. So I did some research, talked to several people I'd met around town, and tried to figure out what made the most sense for me. So I landed up enrolling in a class. That was week 2 of arriving here. And I did 8 weeks, 5 hours a day.
Wow.
Which was, and we got homework. Even at my age, we got homework to do.
How many days a week were you doing this?
2 days a week.
Wow.
2 days a week, 5 hours, so.
Of class time. That's
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
was
time
a lot
in
of,
class.
yes, so, but the particular one that I landed up going for is one that would allow me to very quickly learn how to walk into a store and order something. Like I need a kilogram of chicken, all right? Or do you have this available? How to pay your bill in a restaurant. How to contact a server to say I need your help. How to get a cup of coffee at Tim's place.
We do actually speak pretty good English, yeah, some of us.
But to start with, if you had a medical emergency, how would you go ahead and, get a hold of an ambulance or go and talk to a doctor about something that had happened to you?
Okay.
I mean, this was really, really important to me. And so after 8 weeks of doing this, I'm happy to report that I can actually walk into town and talk to people, not very well, and of course I have to work on my pronunciation, but at least I can have a minimal conversation, and that just engages me more with the Panamanians here in town,
Well, good
which
for
is
you.
super, absolutely super, very well. So please, everybody, learn Spanish. It will make your life so much better. I'm
Okay.
happy to report here in Boquete that most of the shopkeepers here do speak a little bit of English, and they really understand hand gestures.
I see.
So you can point a lot, and
Pantomime
pantomime works.
20 questions,
And
yeah.
the thing is, they want to know that you're trying to learn Spanish. They're not going to make fun of you, but they want to know that you are genuinely planning on being here and learning their language, and they will help you. They don't fault you, they don't make fun of you, but they certainly appreciate it, and you will know based on your conversations how that's going. I have a couple of shopkeepers here in town to continue with my Spanish.
Good,
They give
good.
me 1 word a week to learn, and it works out great. I mean, it just kind of keeps you in that. And I'm just going to continue to learn Spanish because it's going to make my life
see.
so much easier here. In my Spanish classes with Rennie, we learned how to talk to gardeners, how to talk to maids, all the essentials that you would actually need to make your life, worthwhile here.
I see. And you did a course, or how did this go with Rennie? And tell us more about her.
Okay, so Rennie Cranich has actually been teaching Spanish here in Panama for probably the
Is she
last.
a foreigner or a Panamanian?
She is. No, she's an expat.
Oh, she is.
actually an
Okay,
expat.
okay.
She had actually set up she had a government contract to actually teach Spanish, which
Okay.
was huge. And she actually does her classes in downtown Boquete, which was huge. Actually works in a small.
So that's where you're walking to.
That's
all
where you
this,
saw me walking with my
She
little
lives
books.
next door, so I'm keeping an eye
Full
on what's
disclosure,
going on.
yeah, right.
She's a good example of a good example of what to do. Yeah.
Well, you need to, they have a book, it's called 501 Verbs, and the one thing which you'll see very quickly on sites is that a lot of the Spanish schools here actually spend a lot of time trying to help you to conjugate verbs. Well, that was just right outside of my realm, and I did not want to, have to understand that. So Rennie gave us all the tips and tricks on how to be able to do that. I went ahead and still purchased the book.
So less more for academia, like high school, college,
Right,
and
right.
more practical Spanish.
Her classes were completely practical. Now,
Oh.
she actually provides several different levels. So once you
Okay.
get to the point where you have more confidence, which is something that I now have a little bit of,
Good.
you can actually go to an intermediate and advanced classes, which is great. But we would be required to actually talk to our fellow students. We'd have to write little essays about our life here in Boquete,
Wow.
which sort of,
And,
got you
and you're
thinking.
writing in
Yeah,
Spanish now.
Spanish, yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
that's
really.
super cool.
And for somebody who just sort of understood what cerveza was, that was, I've come a long way.
I see.
So, yeah.
So how would people get in touch with this lady? Does
Okay.
she have a website?
Yeah, she has a website, and one of the things which you should automatically sign up as you're doing research here is news.boquete.com, and Rennie actually advertises when
Okay.
her classes are actually out.
Okay.
So just keep an eye on that, and then Rennie actually does have her own website, which I don't know
Great.
off the top of my head.
Yeah. The other things that my nephew Caleb was here at this time two years ago, and my stepson Luis was going at that time to Buen Pastor.
Right.
And we enrolled him for the 2 months that he was going to be here. So he had a full immersion situation going on.
Right.
I'm actually the only one in my family. I'm married into a really big Panamanian family. My mother-in-law has 9 children, so I'm like related to the whole village.
Community.
Yeah, everybody knows the silly gringo.
Welcome to Panama.
Yeah, I live in the family compound, the whole 9 yards. Very Latin situation, but he did the full immersion,
Right.
and for 2 months he discovered a few things were very, very helpful. The Spanish for Dummies book kind of started making it make sense on how do you
Right.
conjugate verbs a little bit. Just the first few pages made all the difference. And the second one was Duolingo.
Right.
Is an application
Duolingo,
that from the
yeah, a lot of
Google
people use that,
guys,
sure.
Sergey and the other fellow
Sure.
gave this as a gift to the world. It's
Right.
free. It remembers what you're starting to forget. The see it, say it, read it, write it.
Right.
And it's based on brain mappings of
Sure.
how people actually learn. And I've seen that really accelerates people because it's more practical, useful stuff immediately.
And they talk about technology in Panama, and one of the apps you absolutely need to download
Yeah.
because it will get you out of issues if somebody is talking to you is Google Translate. And Google Translate
yeah.
with their latest app, you can actually talk into your phone yourself, and it will automatically translate into Spanish and repeat it out.
Yeah,
And it
it's
does the
pretty
same
amazing.
thing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
incredible.
So if you have a data plan on your like a real phone, not like my cheap one I used to have, a little
Your
drug dealer phone.
smartphone, your iPod.
Yeah, you can turn that on. And the other
Okay,
thing that's
yeah.
really cool that I teach people when they come here is on all the signage to take pictures,
Right.
and then you scratch over it,
Yep.
and so that every day you walk by the sign, you're remembering.
Correct.
That's what that word means.
And get
so you're
used to
learning
it
by seeing
yeah.
every day.
And the reality of the situation is what you're looking at for instruction purposes or medication purposes. Everything is in Spanish, so you do have to learn Spanish.
Yeah.
And so there's workarounds as far as that's concerned. And so Duolingo and Google Translate, you can actually take a picture and it will translate it automatically into English. And then, a couple of friends of mine, they came up with a brilliant idea.
What's that?
And they said, go ahead and take painter's tape, that blue painter's tape.
Yeah.
And they said, go ahead and write the Spanish word.
I was in somebody's house that had that everywhere the other day. I thought that
And
was
so
great.
it's like, write the Spanish word on
That's a
everything
good
in the
idea.
house,
Yeah, the
So
blue
you
paint,
get used
so
to
you
the
can pull it off.
blue one. So you get used to refrigerator is, microwave is,
That's a
on,
great
off,
idea. That's very
and
good.
And that forces you to kind of just continue thinking in that way. And then, like I said, talk to your neighbors. Don't fall into the habit of just hanging out with expats, because that's not going to help you at all.
Make some Panamanian friends.
Absolutely.
And I always teach people, they love things made out of ground corn. They've never seen cornbread, butter, and beans and honey. If you bring a pot of beans and a tray of cornbread over, these the Panamanians, they will fall in love with you. They've
Oh, yeah.
never seen
Absolutely.
cornbread. It's a thing.
Absolutely.
And I said, that's the trick for your security as well. Your next door neighbor, go over there with a sheet cake
Yes, exactly.
of cornbread, and you will make permanent, lifelong friends
Exactly.
and somebody that you can practice with.
Exactly.
Oftentimes, there will be a child in the family, a
Correct.
grandkid or a niece or a nephew, where you can trade off the English-Spanish thing, and
Exactly.
they
And that's-
love that.
And that's what
yeah,
I've
they'll
done.
want you around.
Yeah. So under Panama education system now, they're actually teaching the youngsters English. It's actually part of their curriculum.
Yes.
So I learned very, very quickly that if I got myself, stuck, if I could find somebody that was in their 20s or maybe millennials in their 30s, chances are they have a smattering of English.
Yeah.
And so they were able to help you out. So that was a big effort for me. But practice your Spanish, learn it, have a bit of confidence. I'm learning that. Don't fall back into the I'm just going to speak English. That's not a good way to be a part of this Panama.
Yeah, for me, speaking Spanish has opened up so many doors.
And it is their language.
Well, and just the richness of being
Right.
here is just
Culturally,
so much.
you get
Yeah,
invited
I mean,
to things that you would
yeah.
never normally get
Yeah.
invited to.
Yeah.
I have certainly been.
I got to
immersed
tell
here.
you, Helen, I am very, very impressed with you and how you jumped in like this, and with the Spanish as well. I caught her talking to my wife and staff the other day, and I was 2 thumbs up. Very, very impressive.
Well, thank you, Tim.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, it's super cool. It
Yeah.
is super cool.
Okay.
I'm very proud of what you've done here. And tell us the name of where you got this training at, and how they could do that again if they're interested.
So the lady that was actually doing the training is called Crash Course Spanish.
Okay.
Her name is Renny Kranich, so it's RENNY .CRANICH @gmail.com is her email. But you can also go ahead and log in and sign up for the website, which is called news.boquete.com. It keeps you in touch with everything that's going on here in
Yeah,
Boquete, and you'll see Renny advertising.
And that's in
accordingly.
English.
Right.
I see.
That's in English. And of course, there is a new website here all about Boquete. And if you look under there for Spanish lessons, there's an actual area, and you'll see Rennie's
Yeah.
information there too.
And really, if you go into Facebook and just write Boquete, you'll see all
Yeah,
kinds of weird
exactly.
sites as well.
Absolutely.
And we'll try to get you some more information on
Right.
that on my video
Essential.
series we're doing. And if you would, please subscribe to the channel that you're seeing this on, whether it's the Live Free University side. And if you're needed to make a little extra money to be able to live down here and retire early, that can help you there at Live Free University. This is Helen, and my name's Tim Zellmer at Hotel Central Boquete. And what was the theme today? What did we decide we're calling this?
Can I move
Here with no
without
Spanish?
The
Yes,
answer
you
is
can.
yes, you can. I did it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.